STM and all device on the qualification and industry certification, and what is your line
I think
on
I
that?
should skip some of the slides and just go into qualification, certification. Maybe I jump in here directly.
Yeah.
Um, so now we are using additive for production. When you say use additive for production, someone should say that this part is good or bad, or the process is qualified or not. So there comes the importance of standards. So you cannot create, we can create our own internal procedures to qualify, but it's always better to use a procedure that is already established or already approved and recognized by a global community. So as I said, we published over 73 standards, and out of these 73 standards, few of the standards are primarily for qualification purposes. And whatever you are seeing here is different standards that can be used for certification aspects. Here we have a certification program which covers, importantly, the 52920 standard talks about qualifying an industrial additive manufacturing production site. So that's a overarching standard that calls out all of the different standards that you need to use it in order to qualify your additive manufacturing facility. And there are other standards like 52941 if you want to qualify your machine. If you want to qualify your process, we have 52930 that's called IQ, OQ, PQ, installation qualification, operation qualification, and performance qualification. So I'm not reading out all the different standards, but I'll show you another slide where how you can use these standards internally before you go for a certification, before you go for an external certification. How can you use the standards to create a qualification framework within your process? So this slide is quite clumsy, but what I'm trying to share here is that the entire process chain is mapped here, and you can map different stages of your additive manufacturing process to different standards. So when it comes to feedstock and materials, we have so many standards listed here that standards can be used as a basis to qualify your material. So once you move from material to design, to qualify your design, again, we have multiple standards published. So if you are working on a polymer-based process, there's a standard that can be used to see whether you follow the right thing to qualify the design, or you use the correct design methodologies in that particular part. And there is another standard for part classification, meaning all the part doesn't require the same rigor of testing. You don't need 100 specimens to test a sample for tooling, whereas you need 100 specimens to test a sample that is used for an aerospace application. So before you go, you need to classify your parts based on criticality, how critical your part is. So based on the criticality aspect, you can design what kind of testing methodology that you should follow. So there's a standard to help you that. Now comes the part qualification build. So I talked about 52930 that tells you how you need to perform IQ, OQ, and PQ. Then going into the machine, you have a standard which help you to understand how to do testings of your machine, not the parts, testing of a machine, how it works, whether the maintenance, annual maintenance or preventive maintenance has been taken care properly. So there are a couple of standards to help you out there. Then comes, or once you produce a part, how you're going to do the thermal post processing, what standard that you should use for that. So if you can use this framework and map your additive manufacturing process steps to the required standards, now you are in fact creating your own internal framework that makes you ready for any kind of regulatory acceptance. So most of the time when we do presentations on standards, I would use this as the single most standard, single most slide or the cheat sheet that someone can use to perform qualification within the facility. So this is about the qualification aspect, I would say.
Yes, I think this includes a lot of points which has come into a single frame. Okay, so now let us, for want of time, I think we have to discuss immediately about the artificial intelligence, how it is really helping shaping the AM. Because all this, especially the QF, the quality framework standards, I think needs a lot of detailing, sector-wise, requirement wise, components application wise, I think all that deep understanding is very much required. This is a hint or an address towards exploring further details. I think that's
Absolutely.
yeah, that's a point which I can say